Alright class, today we're going to be talking about HTML. Now I know it's not the most interesting thing to talk about, but it's got to be talked about. Oh man! Now class, we got to talk about it. You know, it's not, I know it's not as interesting as like Java or JavaScript, but it's something we got to talk about. It lays the fundamentals for web programming, and it's just an all-around fun time. Yeah, well, fuck you. I don't want to talk about HTML. I just want to talk about butts and stuff. I mean, fuck you. Don't you usually do video game stuff anyway? Well, since you get some creative independence, fuck you. What the fuck did you just say to me? Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Best Gamer Guys. I am Mike, and I am ready to go back to my roots. Back to the golden days. Back to the good old days of YouTube tutorials. Now, when I say that, I mean my old channel that I used to work with had YouTube tutorials. It was Java at the time, but I've found kind of an interest now, and I'm actually taking a class right now too on it with HTML. HTML I've noticed is kind of the fundamental of web programming, and I want to put this tutorial out there just in case somebody's like me who couldn't really find a good tutorial, couldn't really figure out online how to do some stuff. So this is a tutorial series on kind of just figuring out, oh, my mouse just unplugged, kind of figuring out how to, you know, get into the basics for this first video. Just the very basics, getting things set up and getting into HTML right away, showing some cool stuff. So couple things we're going to need. We're going to need the development environment, and we're going to need a couple other settings set up to be able to do this properly. So the environment I'm going to be using today is Sublime Text. Sublime Text is pretty good with HTML. It has a built-in function so that you can, I'll show you that later, but you could also use NetBeans, and Notepad++, Eclipse might have a setting for HTML, I'm not quite sure, but we're going to be using Sublime Text 3. So what you're going to do is you're going to go down to their website, and you're going to open up your browser, and you're going to go to their website, sublimetext.com/3. I'll have it down in the description, make it a lot easier. It'll take you to this page, and then there'll be a couple options here. You got the Apple OS, 2 Windows distributions, which also have portable versions, and then Linux distributions here. Now, if you're on a computer like mine, I would get the Windows 64 because that's what's compatible with my computer. But get whatever's compatible for your computer and download it. I'll wait. Alright, that's enough waiting. So we're going to get out of here. Now, you've got the development kit. What do you do with it? So the easiest way to get started is just right-click on your desktop anywhere. Hit New and go to Text Document. Now, once you get to text document, you're going to see probably new text document. You're not going to see this .txt. I'm going to show you how to get that because that's very important. That's very important part of this process. So you're actually going to go down to your search bar. You're probably not going to see the search bar, but you're going to type in folder options. I'll put that on the screen so that you can get that. And then you're going to go to File Explorer options. Now, this is the this is the settings for your File Explorer. You're going to go to View, and then down here you're going to see this one that says Hide Extensions for Known Files. It'll be checked for you if you've never unchecked it before. So you're going to uncheck that, hit Apply. You're going to see your icons dance around when you hit OK and Apply. And now you should see when you go to rename something, it should have the file extension with it. So we are going to rename to sample 1. And then make sure that you have .html, because that .html tells your computer, hey, fam, run this in your web browser. The default web browser, might I add you. So if you have one that you prefer, but it's not your default, it'll open it in whatever the default is, which will probably be something like Microsoft Edge, unfortunately. So write HTML, hit enter, you're going to get this pop-up. It's going to say,
If you change a file name extension, the file might become unusable. Are you sure you want to change it?
Now what that means is you'll just hit yes, because that just applies for what I've found to be like media files. Like if you tried, it's a .mp3 and you changed it to .mp4 or the other way around, or if you tried doing .mp4 to .avi or something like that. So you're just gonna go hit yes, and boom, it shows that it's going to be opened in a browser. So you try opening it in a browser, and oh no, there's nothing here. Surprise, surprise. But we're about to change that. So you get out of that and right click it. Now when you right click, if you've opened a development environment on your computer before, it will show up here. It'll say open with blank being your environment. If it doesn't, you hit open with and go down to choose another app. Now again, if you have opened one before, it will show up here, but if you haven't, you do more apps, all the way down, look for another app on this PC. You're gonna find where it is on your PC, which mine is on a flash drive because I got the portable version, because it's just nice to have around. And then you do sublimetext.exe, and boom, you're in. You're in like bacon. So now you've got this blank slate of whatever you want to do with it. So what do you do with it? What you're going to do first is probably the easiest thing to get started. Just do HTML, then hit tab, and boom, you've got your jam here. You've got the basic template. Now these are all tags. Tags are the things that really do stuff with HTML. You've got your doc type, which is what the document is going to be written in, HTML. You've got your HTML tag. Everything in that tag is going to be HTML, or is applied to this HTML doc type. And you've got the head. That's for all your metadata, your icon for the top of the tab in the browser, what it says on that tab in the browser, and mostly metadata, and some links to other stuff. But then you've got, well, in between the head and the body, you can have a script tag. Whoop. Now a script tag is for designing stuff. That's all CSS. We'll get to that another day. I know, it's the interesting stuff, but we'll get to it another day. So, the body tag. Here is where all of your meat and potatoes go. Right in there. You want to display something? Right in there. You could do color change and stuff like that in there. I wouldn't recommend it. I would rather do it in script, but I'll show you in body in the next video. Right now we're just going to do hello world. And then down here this HTML is just the closing HTML tag. Same with the body one here. So, what you're going to do is you're going to type H1. Now, H1 is the basic header tag. You can have H1 through H6. H1 is the biggest, H6 is the smallest. It's a font size. If you wanted it to be a custom font size, you would do a P for paragraph, and that would show up. As a paragraph, but you could change the font size that way. So, inside the header, we'll do hello world. Now, after typing hello world and doing nothing else, if I were to open it, I'll right click and hit open in browser, which is the easiest way to do it. So it opens right in your default browser, and what the heck, nothing's changed. What do? You're freaking out.
Oh no, Mike Senpai, whatever will I do? We are in trouble now. I will kill you, you bastard.
But, up. You've activated my trap card. You forgot to save. If you do a change here, and you don't save it, you'll see this little square up here, right where my mouse is. You'll see this little square, and if it's not displaying my mouse, it's up by the file type up there after HTML. That little square means that this document is not saved, and it will not show up with whatever you've changed. So you do Control S, basic save command, and then you go back out. Now, when you're in your browser, you can hit the refresh button or whatever your refresh command is, and boom, there's your hello world.
Yay!
Now, wait a minute. Your tab still says blah, 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 sample1.html or whatever the hell you named the file. You don't want it to show the file just like on a web page. You wouldn't want this to show up. So what you're going to do is you're going to go back to your Sublime Text. And in this title tag, you're going to put whatever you want, just something basic, whatever. And then, when you do that, that's going to put that up in that tab. That's what that title tag is for. So you're going to save. Make sure you save because it won't show up. And then you're just going to go right back down to your jam here and hit refresh. And boom, Nathan Sucks right up at the top. So that's pretty much Hello World. I'm going to do a little something here just to make it a little bit more fun. Just go here, do marquee, and marquee. Let's see if that works. Oh, I need to make that an ending tag. There we go. All right. Boom, marquee. So that's kind of the very, very basics of HTML. Last kind of final thought is when you're on a web page, any web page actually, it doesn't even have to be one you created. You can do Control or you can do F12. I have to do FN F12 to bring up the developer options. Here. There we go. And that's going to kind of show you everything. Where it is on the page. You got your body here. That's technically considered my body right now. And you've got the marquee. If you do this, it'll show you what's in the marquee. So that's kind of a little cool thing too, when you're kind of looking at elements of a page and you kind of like, oh, I want that. What is that? That looks really cool. You can be like, oh, hey, it's a marquee. Cool. I'll add that on my web page. But that's kind of all for now. I just kind of wanted to give the basics for the first episode, kind of get you guys going with the whole, HTML thing. It's a big beast to tackle. So in the next video, I'm going to be showing some more complex thoughts, more designing, kind of the rules in which you have to follow for your web pages and stuff like that. But thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all the good shit. And I'll see you guys next time.